it's going to be helpful for us to be able to state in a really clear manner what the theory is saying exactly. And one thing that I should mention is when we're going to cast all of these moral theories, when we're going to explain all of these moral theories, we have to cast them in terms of what you might call moral evaluation. And by moral evaluations, we're talking about trying to explain what morally right actions are. And I kind of use right actions in general in sort of a very generic way. But it's worthwhile mentioning that in the moral context, there are certain terms of evaluation that are used on a regular basis when we're talking about actions. We talk about obligatory actions, permissible actions, forbidden, that is morally obligatory, morally permissible, and morally forbidden actions. Now, what's interesting about this is that these three terms are terms of moral evaluation, and each can be defined in terms of the others. For example, an obligatory action, or to say that action A is obligatory, it just means the same thing as not doing A is not permissible, and doing A is permissible. In addition, we can define permissible in terms of forbidden. That is, an action is permissible means that the action is not forbidden. And finally, we can define forbidden in terms of obligatory. That is, if we say an action is forbidden, that just means, by the way, I should have mentioned, when you see this equals DF period, it's equals by definition. You just read that as means. It's a shorthand. Oftentimes philosophers use that as a shorthand, just that the first statement or the first phrase means the same thing as the second phrase. So A is forbidden means equals by definition not doing A is obligatory. Now, when I'm going to cast, or when I'm going to state our theories, I'm just going to use morally right or simply right. And by right, I'm just going to be using it to mean morally permissible. And I think given this understanding of moral evaluations, we'll be able to explain how we're going to state very clearly and in a concise, in a brief, terse manner what the theory is claiming.